Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I am one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke, and as always, to my right,
Y'all know who it is, man. Duran, no cool nickname. But keep throwing them bad boys in the comments. Maybe we'll find something cool eventually.
we're gonna get there eventually.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we're gonna get there
I
eventually.
told you one that I thought I liked that I
Yeah.
came up with myself.
Right?
The lazy eye bourbon guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. We might have to just start using that.
That's we'll see. Lazy eye bourbon guy. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it.
All
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Don't be making fun of my eye though, 'cause, I ain't with the games. You know what I'm saying? I be in these streets for real. No, I don't.
This
joking.
guy here.
But yo, it's good to be back, bro. Like,
Yeah, man,
it feels
we're
good
back.
for real.
We're gonna bring something else different for you.
This is going to be an interesting episode.
This one's gonna be pretty interesting. You know, the previous episode we brought you a top cigars of the podcast from 2023.
Yeah.
And this one we're going to bring something else different for you, and we're going to try to bring some other different things.
Yeah, absolutely,
to you.
absolutely.
We're trying to keep things interesting, keep things engaging.
Yeah.
But for our cigar, we're not going to smoke anything new today because the spirit is something new and special and different and what have you.
Absolutely.
But real quick with the cigar, so we're just going to smoke the Undercrown 10 all decked out. This is one of our top
pound for pound.
Yeah, one of our top cigars.
Period.
We absolutely love the cigar. So we'll get this thing unwrapped here. But if this is one you have not had, shame on you.
Yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice for real.
Definitely need to try this one.
Such a great smoke.
Yeah, I mean the color on it's great. The smell on it's great. I mean everything
There's
about it.
There's nothing
great.
about it that's not great. Like,
it smells so good.
Yeah. But what's interesting about today's episode is we decided to make an infinity bottle. Okay?
Yeah.
So from Jason's stash and my stash. So I brought 6 bottles, 3 ryes, 3 bourbons.
Yep.
Jason picked out 3 ryes, 3 bourbons.
Yes.
And we decided to throw them all in one bottle.
One bottle.
And we'll tell you a quick funny story.
Go for it, man.
So this bottle actually has my last name on it. If you can see it, maybe.
Which is crazy,
right?
Because you don't have like a common last name.
No, my last name is, well, so living in the South, right? People always bring up my last name as soon as they see it. They go, "Oh, are you related to the General Burnside?" And I'm like, I doubt.
Right.
I'm from the Confederacy, but
right.
Again,
right.
Trace my heritage back. There's probably some underlying things there. I'm black. Y'all get it. Do your own research. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this bottle, Burnside bourbon, or is it whiskey? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Either way,
it doesn't matter.
It was awful. It was bad.
It was not good.
It was not good.
I saw it out in the wild one day and was like, I got to get this.
Yeah.
Like, just, it's got his last name on it. Yeah. I don't care what it tastes like.
So that's a true friend, right? Like, he's seen something that, we both share, right? We both like bourbon, whiskey, whatever this might have been. And he was like, oh, it's got my homie's last name on it. I'm going to buy it and I'm going to bring it in. He brought it in.
I think it was $20.
It wasn't much.
So
right?
it wasn't much. Yeah.
He brought it in. We both cracked it, looking forward to it. And immediately we were looking at each other like, what the hell did we do?
But in honesty, we had very low expectations.
Yes.
So it kind of met the expectations. But we decided that we were going to take 6 bottles out of our collection.
Yeah.
And take 2 ounces out of each bottle.
Correct.
And go ahead and let's just mix this stuff together
and see what happens.
Not really an infinity bottle, but a lot of people, that's what they call an infinity bottle. It's just kind of like our own blend, really.
Yeah.
And you brought your empty Burnside bottle, which
I did, man. I thought it was only right, bro.
Yeah, I mean, might as well, right?
He had an empty bottle sitting aside too that we could have used. And as soon as I pulled the Burnside bottle out, he was like, "No, absolutely, that is what we're doing."
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Yeah.
So we have all of the bottles that we mixed right down here, and we are going to just quickly kind of pull them up and run you through what's in there. But 12 bottles, 2 ounces apiece.
Yeah.
But I think there was a couple that were just a little bit over, just to finish the bottle, to finish the bottle off, right? So we ended up with somewhere between 24 and 25 ounces.
Yeah.
Which is what the bottles are.
The proof is about 110.
We did add up
probably a little closer to 111.
Yep.
But
which
it's
is perfect
right in our
for us.
wheelhouse.
Yeah. And the color turned out really nice.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
You know,
Turn it
so
around so you can see more of the actual color here.
we have not tasted it. We have not smelled it.
Nothing.
Nothing. So we are going to get this blind right on camera.
Yeah.
So I guess let's get into it.
I'm
Let's
gonna
light
rinse
the
my
cigar
glass.
and
I'm gonna rinse my glass here.
let's get going, man.
All right.
He's
I'm
going
not
right.
gonna sniff it from the bottle.
Going
I'm gonna
right for
sniff it from the glass.
This is exciting. I'm excited for this. I'm really curious.
I'm gonna get a good enough pour to like
get a good pour.
You know. All right, there we go. That's a good 2-finger there.
Let me see that.
All right, here we go. Hey, like,
Yeah.
I'm not upset.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Got some floral notes in there.
Yeah.
It's not like over like highly ethanol-y.
It's
like,
not. I'm actually a little surprised about that.
Because there's some high proof.
There is some high proof stuff in there. We only had one bottle that fell under 100 proof.
Yeah.
So.
And everything else is, I want to say at least 105.
Pretty much. Pretty much, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Let's go for it. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, like,
it's very viscous. It's sweet.
What's the word? God, I'm drawing a blank.
The tannins?
The tannins.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of rye spice on the back end.
Man.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all, bro.
No, me neither. That's pretty good.
Yo.
That's pretty
cheers
good.
Cheers to that.
Man. Love it.
That's actually
interested to see how that's going to develop while it sits in the glass.
Right. Let me get this cigar lit. Let's see what it tastes like after that. That first taste was very good, man. Like, got some floral notes, some oakiness.
Yeah, like the sweetness hits you right off the bat.
Yeah, and then you got the rye on the back end.
Yeah, it's floral in the mid palate, but then the rye hits you on the back end.
Yeah, man.
Like, that's a hell of a journey.
Wow.
Boy, the rye on the back end is really surprising me.
It lingers too.
I mean, it lingers something.
It lingers.
Huh. Looks like I didn't quite get mine lit.
Wow. That just, like, with the lingering of the, the infinity on the palate.
Yeah.
That's just.
Man, I am not disappointed at all with that.
I'm quite shocked.
Like, we just picked some random stuff out of our collection.
Should we start showing them?
Like, yeah, let's start showing them.
All right.
So I guess I'll go with mine first, real quick. So of the bourbons, we have the Tumblin' Dice single barrel. Might as well say the proof while we're at them, right?
Yeah.
So this is 112. And then we have the Huling Station single barrel, 109. And a Daddy Rack single barrel at 119.
Mm-hmm.
So there was my 3 bourbons.
All right. Let's see.
And then you can share with us.
Let's see what my 3 bourbons were here.
3 you got. So
we went Penelope Barrel Strength. This one comes in at 109 proof.
And that's the 9-year.
9-year. So, it's got some age on it. We went Elijah Craig Private barrel. This is the one that Corey actually selected.
Right.
So it's a 10-year, and the proof on this is 130.7, like highest proof in the bottle.
Yep.
That one is one of the ones that got a tad bit more than the 2 ounces, just a tad bit. And then we've got the Russell single barrel. I want to say this is 10 years, right?
I think it is 10 years.
10
yeah.
years. And this comes in at 110 proof. What you got on the rise?
All right. On the rise, we've got the other Russell's single barrel. So single barrel rye Russells. This one is at 104. And then we have a Smoke Wagon straight rye blender select. And this one runs at, it's about 118.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, this one ended up being the lowest proof that we put in there.
Yes.
The Michter's single barrel straight rye. And this one runs at about 84.
84 proof?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Rise on my side. The King's Distilling Ryconic. Y'all have heard me talk about this bottle.
Love it.
One of my favorites, right? I don't remember what the age statement on this is, but comes in closer to 109, 108.6. And then, of course, we couldn't do it without, one of these here. So this is the Cigar Rye. It comes in at 105 proof. Y'all know this is a bottle that we constantly talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's a hitter, very under the radar bottle. And then a short barrel Kentucky straight rye, or excuse me, just straight rye whiskey. This is 117, right? And this is also one of the picks from Tennessee Cigar and Bourbon Society. So a good little mix of different things in the bottle.
Yeah. And the last one, interesting, I actually didn't really enjoy that bottle.
Really?
Yeah. So I've had it twice now.
Okay.
On 2 separate occasions just to see. And it just, I don't know, it wasn't for me.
Okay.
It is something about the rye on that one. It just wasn't for me. And so, putting 2 ounces of that in this, I think obviously we have quite a bit of rye in there, so you're going to get some rye.
Yeah, you're going to get some rye spice.
But this turned out to be really
pretty good, right?
Really enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, that's something we're going to have to share that with the group.
Well, so should we do reactions, like let other people tell us what they think about it?
That's a great idea.
Okay. Well, we might bring y'all some footage of some other folks trying, the high proof ashes, blended
High
bourbon.
proof ashes #1.
Yeah, high proof ashes #1. First joint, first one.
Yeah.
I mean, it smells phenomenal. Like it really does. But all of a sudden, I am getting a little spiciness in the nose.
Yeah. It's getting a little ethanol for you.
Yeah, just a little.
I love it how the bourbons and whiskeys develop in the glass.
Yeah.
As you just kind of let it sit there.
Here's the thing, man. Like, look at that color.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man. Let's go in for another taste.
And I'm telling you, as soon as it hits the palate, it's just sweet. Mm-hmm. But that quickly goes away.
But the crazy part is how sweet it actually is.
Mm-hmm. Like, it was the first thing that hit me when I took that first sip. Like, oh, wow, this is kind of sweet. But it quickly, the sweetness goes away.
It dissipates, and then you get that floral.
Floral, yeah.
Right?
It's very, very floral. And then the floral kind of dissipates.
And you get the rye.
And wow, that's
complex.
Very.
That's complex. That's what that is.
Man. And we ended up at, what did you say? Like 110, 111 proof?
It was 110.58. So,
okay.
A little bit closer to 111 than it is 110.
Gotcha.
But
which is a great proof to be at.
Yeah, that's listen, we love anything that's above 100, right? I feel like that's when those flavors really start to break out, is once you meet that 100 proof.
Right.
And the higher up that you get, if you can deal with So I don't want to say the burn, because we drink a lot of high proof, so it doesn't burn for me anymore, right? Like
Right.
it's just you can tell that it's higher proof.
Right.
This is not by any means a hot. It's not hot to the taste.
No. Well, and I think it's that flavor progression that kind of
Mm-hmm.
helps with that. You know, the sweetness immediately on the palate really helps tame down that
Yeah,
kind of ethanol-y
yeah.
flavor or whatever experience. You know, and then you get that floral, and it's not to the very, very end where you get the spice, the kind of that heat, if you will, that sort of
But it's still not
combines.
overbearing.
No, no. I mean, by the time you get there, you've already you've already gone on this journey,
Yeah.
you know, of the palate. I think it's great.
And again, like Jason said, it's super viscous, right? So
Yeah.
it is everything you want in a bourbon, like because this is, man, like I'm kind of at a loss for words at like how complex it is. Like it's nice,
It's way better than I was expecting. You know, like I don't know that I had really high or low expectations. I just didn't know what to expect.
right?
You know, with 12 different, you know, 6 different bourbons and six
Yeah,
different whiskeys, you just never know what's going to happen.
yeah.
And man, this turned out really nice.
Yo, I'm looking forward to giving it to our group and
Right.
saying, hey,
What
try
do you
this
think?
out. Let us know what you think about
Yeah.
it.
And you know, we didn't really. I mean, if you want to consider the cigar rye finished, fine, but nothing else
Finished.
is finished at all.
Yeah.
I don't know that the cigar rye is really finished. Um, but man, that's pretty good.
And the cigar goes phenomenal, right? Like this is a full body, full flavor cigar. Again, we've talked about this cigar enough that this
Yeah.
is our pound for pound,
Oh
like
yeah,
dollar for dollar banger. You know what I'm saying? The UC10, they
it's a
did
great
everything
cigar.
right on this.
Yeah.
Like the smoke reduction is amazing, the construction is amazing. It's a full body cigar, but it's also a full flavored
It
cigar.
is. It is. You know, it's funny you're talking about the construction. I've actually got a tunnel going on in mine.
Get out of
So
here.
yeah. So you know, but I mean, it happens, right? It's a handmade natural product.
Yeah.
You know, they can't make every one of these things perfect.
I'm normally the
Uh,
one that deals with the cigar problems on the podcast, though.
yeah. So you know, you see me over here puffing, and I'm not getting a whole lot of smoke, and that's because of the tunneling going on. So hopefully that goes away, and you know, I can enjoy the
I am
rest of the
definitely
cigar.
not dealing with that. If you look at my
No,
cigar,
no,
like,
you're not dealing with that at all.
it's everything that you want. Like great smoke production there. We got a nice tight ash. You know, um, again, like this is just one of those cigars that if you haven't tried it, you're just you're not doing yourself any favors.
No, no, you definitely got to try it. I mean, most people that try it ends up being one of their favorites.
Yeah,
You
always.
know, it ends up being a go-to.
Especially because like this one, it also falls in a great price point.
Right.
So I just y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know how we feel about the UC10 all decked out. Like it's just a great stick.
But the aroma on this thing is developing nicely.
Yeah.
Like as it sits in the glass, I get a little bit of the green apple from the rye, that oakiness, like you were talking about.
Man. So maybe like we just keep this thing going, right? Like as it gets lower,
Well, that's a true infinity bottle. You
right?
know, just keep adding to
As
it.
it gets lower, we add a few more things.
We could definitely do it,
Yeah.
and make it a true infinity bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, so
And
well,
one of the bottles we talked about putting in there, we actually didn't go for. We said you were gonna put the pin hook in.
right.
We didn't do the pin hook.
We didn't do the pin hook.
So once we get it down a little bit, we might throw a little pin hook in there and see what happens. If I can convince them, it's a good bottle. Bro, I really like this. I ain't even going. I'm not.
The complexity on it is incredible.
Like
But
it just takes you all over the place.
yeah, but I mean, I guess it should. You know, with that many different pours
Yeah,
in it,
the different mixes and
right?
different things that we put in it.
But it turned out really well.
Man, and I love the color, bro. Like it's phenomenal.
Definitely a unique flavor profile
Yeah.
that you're not going to quite get from anything that we put in there. I mean, I think about that floralness and like where is that coming from, you know? And it's like I know the Elijah Craig is floral as hell,
Yeah.
Um,
What
the
else?
the I feel like the Russells,
The
the
Russells
regular
definitely.
Russells
The Russells
has some
definitely.
really good floralness to it. Um, but look, I think out of everything, the rye is really shining.
Yeah, the rye is pronounced on the back end.
Like it's so pronounced on the back end, but it's so not overpowering
Yeah,
that those ryes really came out really really nice.
I'm shocked at how good it is. Like I was a little worried, right? Like because we really did like we didn't have a conversation about what we were gonna pick or what we were gonna put in. It was I brought six and he picked six, right? Because of course we're recording at Time to Burn. We haven't given Time to Burn a shout out in a while. This is Jason's home lounge, so um, we're in the comfort of his super friendly home. And,
Home lounge, man. There's just nothing like it.
dude, my wife actually brought it up the other day, and she was like, you know, when we next look for our next house, like we should do that. And I was like, oh, really?
Really?
Like that's what you want? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm definitely not against it. You know, totally in.
I mean, I can tell you that pretty much everyone that has spent a little bit of time in here has said, their takeaway is, I need a home lounge.
Yes.
Like, forget that it means that I'm going to drink more and smoke more and all that. It just being able to, after the day is done, just come sit in here and
Relax. Get rid of
relax.
that day's funk.
Yeah, man, have a cigar, have a drink, watch some football or some
Mm-hmm.
basketball
Yeah.
or a movie or something like that.
Right.
It's just, yeah, it's really nice. And people ask me, like, now that you've done it, if you could change anything, what would you change? And I'm like, I don't know that I would change anything.
Okay.
Like, if anything, I wish the space was bigger.
Okay.
But I think that anyone would probably wish
Well,
that
everybody says that, right?
they're
Everybody would want a bigger space, but
right.
I don't think
But
so.
but
All
beyond
you
that,
guys see is us on the camera. You don't
right?
realize like this room is much bigger than you expect it to be.
Yeah.
And I think Will said that to you, right? Like
Yes.
he
He
expected
thought it
that,
was
like
like half the size that it
yeah,
was, or
because of the
whatever, like
vantage point of
of the
the
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
But we got plenty of room. Like we can get up and walk to the other side of the room, come back. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's definitely
Yeah.
it's a good spot.
Yeah. It's nice. I mean, when I came to look at this place to buy, walked in this room and immediately thought this is perfect space for a lounge.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I need is in here. All of my spirits, my cigars, wine. I got a little fridge in here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the chairs, nice big TV. The rabbit air is in here. I definitely recommend the rabbit air if you're going to do an indoor smoking space.
For sure.
Need to have separate heating and air. You don't want this to go into the house. And look, some people, they go with like a separate building, they get one of those little prefab sheds.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little 8x12 prefab shed. That's almost 100 square feet. That's about what this room is here. And like, I know that doesn't seem like a lot of space, but
it's plenty though.
It's plenty of space, for you and maybe one other person. Maybe you might be able to get 3 people.
I think if you really wanted to, you could probably squeeze 4 in here. It'd get a little smoky.
It would. You'd need a little exhaust fan.
Yeah.
I've got a thing that I can put in the window back here that'll, kind of push the air out. But having a home lounge is really, really nice. If you don't want to kind of weather the elements.
Absolutely.
I think most of us have an outdoor smoking space.
Yeah.
Which is great when the weather's fine. But, a lot of times it's not.
Especially this time of year, because I can smoke outside, but like it's freezing.
Yeah, it's freezing.
And then next week we're gonna get below 20.
This week.
Yeah,
Yeah, this coming week.
Yeah. So in the next couple of days we're gonna get below 20. I'm not gonna be outside smoking no cigars, so I might be without a cigar for a couple of days because we'll see. They're calling for several inches of snow. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I mean there's solutions that you can do outside. You can build yourself a little shelter. You can get a little weather pod or whatever. But that brings its own set of challenges. I've done that kind of stuff, and so it's hardly permanent. It's usually not that comfortable.
Right.
I know people that smoke in their garage and they put a fan in the window, to kind of draw that smoke out. But garages don't tend to be that warm.
Right. So
So
you
you're
have
trying
to
to,
have an outside heating element to make it work.
yeah, so it's always a challenge when you're not at a brick and mortar,
Right.
location. So uh, but the best case scenario, if you don't have a space within the walls of your house,
Mm-hmm.
is probably to do like the prefab shed kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You
For
know,
sure.
those things aren't cheap, especially now.
Yeah.
And then you need to they're unfinished, so you got to throw insulation and walls, and you got to electrify it, and by the time you're all said and done, it's 10 grand.
Yeah. Easy. Like
Just
that. That's minimum.
to have a place to smoke, or man cave, whatever you want to call it. So I'm lucky. I'm
Yes.
lucky that I was able to incorporate it into a room that was already built.
Right. Right. Right.
And just my biggest expense was the rabbit air.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. I mean, luckily those aren't crazy expensive.
they're not. I mean, for air purifiers, they're pretty expensive. I think that was like $700.
Yeah.
But I think all told, with all of the stuff I had to do in here, was about $1,000 to get this thing smoke ready.
Right.
So not that bad.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Is it still giving you everything that it did before?
Yeah, man, it's just really good. Like, yeah, I love how it progresses through everything. It's actually, the sweetness is actually lingering now through the floral and the rye. Like, I'm not getting nearly as much as the rye spice on the back end. That's interesting. The rye is kind of, I don't know if it's the cigar affecting it, but like right now, I'm not getting that nearly as much rye spice as I was.
I definitely want to say it's the cigar. We talked about it earlier, right? Like the cigar can mute some of that,
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah.
of the taste buds and just bring everything down a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but to be completely honest, I think it's absolutely way more enjoyable with the cigar.
Well, I completely agree. I mean, the richness of the cigar is really enhancing
Yeah,
the flavors.
absolutely.
Definitely the sweetness.
Yeah.
That sweetness is coming through, and I love that.
Well, we'll
I
definitely
mean,
we'll take some time and get some reactions from
yeah.
some of our Whiskey Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
squad. You know,
But if you like bourbon, you like it because it's sweeter
mm-hmm.
than most of your other spirits, and so this is really nice. It doesn't taste sweetened, but it's, yeah, I love it.
Who would have thought we could have turned that Burnside into something special?
Well, I mean, I don't know that we did anything to the burn side.
Because there's none of that in it.
No, none of it.
Literally none.
Oh man. So we're in a new year.
Yeah.
What's the outlook on your business for the year, man? Like, let's talk about that.
Man,
I mean, you had a hell of a 23.
I did. We just
So
kind of exploded,
I
right?
know.
Like
So what's 24 look like, man?
it can only be better because we have not slowed down, not even a little bit.
Right?
Even in November and December, where those are traditionally slower months, we had great months in November and December. January has started out very, very good. So I look forward to me personally getting more hands off of the business and doing more of the things that I really like to do. Developing the people inside the agency and growing it to another level, right? I think that's the biggest thing for me. But ultimately, bro, like it's holding on for dear life. Like it has quickly become this monster that I never expected to
So
have.
you're in a new location that's giving you some room to expand.
Yeah, yeah. So we went from originally having like just my office, right? Because
You had like a room,
we started out in my house, and my wife was like, "Get out!"
right?
Right,
And then
like,
you got a room somewhere.
Yeah, so we got an office. It was 135 square feet,
Right.
probably about the size of the lounge. And then, my wife got to the point where she wanted to come in and work a little bit, so we had to expand. So we went to about 250 square feet, and
Yep.
now we've jumped up to about 1,000. And we've got myself, my wife, and another agent. And realistically, if business keeps going the way it's going, we'll have to add somebody else in
Right.
2024.
Yeah.
So
I think it's great, man.
you know, blessed.
I
That's the word. Blessed.
Sure.
You
I
know?
mean, but hard work, man.
Mm.
Hard work, pays off. Investment in other people pays off.
But what about you, man? What's 2024 got in store for you?
I mean, so work wise, we it's weird. Like I was just looking at the portfolio the other day, and we actually have less work, like quantity wise going on. And my boss has kind of been on me about letting go of projects to other folks to kind of spread out the work a little bit,
Delegation.
and no, like so we each have like a portfolio of projects that we run.
Okay.
Okay. And she's kind of been on to me about letting go of projects, and I mean, I think most guys, right, we sort of balk at like giving up work, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like almost letting. I mean, in a lot of ways, we're talking about letting go of the reins,
Yeah.
like completely, and just giving it to somebody else, right? And I keep looking at the portfolios, and I keep looking at my workload versus everybody else, and it's like, geez, I've got double what everybody else has. Like double, literally double. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to let something go,
Right.
But then it's like, hell, what the hell am I gonna do? And it's like I'm gonna have to give more attention to these other projects,
Right.
Give them more attention. So I think it'll be an interesting work year for us. We're thinking about bringing in another person, but based on the workload, it looks like we don't really need to do that.
Okay.
But and then as far as non-work stuff, I've been working on some improvements to the house.
Okay.
I put the did you see the cabinets that I put into the
Yes,
dining
you showed
area?
me last time I was here.
Yeah.
That was a month and a half ago, but yes, you showed me the last time I was here.
Got that going, and then I'm going to do something in the laundry room as far as making better use of the space. So got some plans to do some improvements around the house.
Wife hit you with a honey-do list, huh?
No, I mean, this was stuff that I had been wanting to do.
Okay.
No, you're talking about the honey-do list. She wants me to do more stuff outside. And I personally want to improve the indoor space.
Get that.
So
because that's where you spend most of your time.
That's where we spend all of our time. The outdoor space, like that's just what other people see. And quite frankly, I don't care what other people see. So, but yeah, that's kind of the outlook for us for 24.
Well, the outlook on the podcast is great, man. Like, we've got some big plans, right? We're gonna get some more guests. We're gonna get out, visit some different lounges.
Yeah, man, we're gonna do some things to grow.
Yeah.
Grow our subscribers, grow our exposure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want to include some other spirits into the mix.
Yeah.
Like you say, other guests, go on location. Can't wait for the weather to get better so we can actually do some outdoor things.
Yeah, for real, man.
So
I know people don't think Tennessee gets cold, but man, it does.
Way too cold to sit outside and smoke.
Yeah,
that's for damn sure.
It's not gonna happen.
Like it's not like a cigarette where you're out there for 5 or 10 minutes. Like
no.
With cigars,
we need an hour minimum,
at least. Well, and then the cold air, like it does not lend itself well to the cigar burning.
No,
right? Either.
It does not.
So there's that as well. But yeah, man.
Good stuff.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, we should hit you with the please drink responsibly.
Of course.
Right? Like make sure you've got lots of water. I think you've seen both me and Jason go to water to offset what we're drinking. But also at the same time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell so that you know when we drop new content. I think we're gonna try to get some other things popping, right? Like we've talked about getting our reels going on Instagram, in our shorts on not Facebook, but YouTube. And we got to do a better job, right?
We do.
On Facebook.
Do. Yep, we definitely do.
So we're going to both be individually trying to grow our following. So if you're not following us individually, please do so. But also make sure that...
And hey, catch up on the old episodes too.
Yeah, man. Go watch those joints. Like, it's some good stuff in there, man.
Some really good stuff, yeah.
like really good stuff in there. We covered a lot of different bourbons. We had our criteria bottles. Man, we haven't told you what those are in a while. Like, so
Yeah.
the criteria,
Yeah.
at least 100 proof,
At least under proof.
under $40,
Under $40 pre-tax.
right? And it's got to be at least 4 years old.
Yep.
So we brought probably 15, 20 of those.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
Yeah.
so there's some good bottles out there that are under $40, over 100 proof, and over 4 years old, or at least 4 years old. Like, some really good bourbons out there. Like,
that are really worth your time.
yeah, like the Daddy Rack,
The regular Daddy Rack.
the regular Daddy Rack, not the one that went in this bottle.
Yeah, not the single barrel because it's over $40.
Yeah.
But the regular Daddy Rack was one. The regular Huling Station,
Yep.
that red label Huling
Yep.
Station, is up there. Tumbling Dice, the
Yeah,
regular
man.
Tumbling Dice is up there. The freaking Knob Creek 9,
Man, that's a banger.
the regular old Knob Creek 9, man,
Buy it for $35.
crazy, man,
Great bottle.
so crazy how good that was. I mean, so those are the ones that kind of stick out memorably, in my head of really good. Shoot, you remember we did that El Cheapo episode? Remember
Yeah.
that? Like we did the old Bardstown
With the curly heads.
the curly head. And
Yeah.
no, we didn't do the curly head then. We did something else. We did the curly head with Jill.
Okay. What
And then
we
we did
do on the El
we did
Cheapo?
the Heaven Hill Green Label that day.
What was the cigar we smoked for the El Cheapo?
I want to say it was the AJ New World Cameroon.
Okay, that might be right. Man, but that made my list.
Yeah, it did make your list. It's a good cigar.
Made my
Like,
list.
So you're talking about a cigar and a pour for $10.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Where they
you know,
do that
so-
at? Nowhere.
Yeah. So
Great stuff.
I love it that we've brought you some really, really cheap and easy to find stuff. We've brought you some ultra rare stuff that you cannot get, or it's ridiculously hard to find, and everything in between.
Yeah.
So
We ran the gamut.
listen, if you guys have anything that you want us to try, whether it be a
Yeah.
cigar or some kind of spirit, and we don't do just bourbon and whiskey, we do tequilas, we do rums.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're gonna mess around with like say vodka, but we've done gin.
Yeah, we've done some gins that are very good.
So there's some things that we kind of steer away from: vodka, cognacs.
Yeah.
Brandies.
There's a few cognacs out there that I can do. And
Is there?
There's a few. There's one or two brandies that I would check out. Like Corey's got a good brandy that's,
So we might need to do a brandy episode or a cognac episode. Like I'm not a huge fan of it, but I mean, look, me.
I'm gonna bring some Hennessy for you.
I
man.
will try almost anything. You got some Hennessy White?
I do.
You got Hennessy White?
Like I have like this much. Like,
Dude, that's actually good.
yeah, and it's like that's why I've got this much. 'cause
You're right.
It's at the very back.
Because you can't even get it in the
You can't
US.
get it in the States.
Yeah.
So every time I get a little bit.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, we nearing time, man. So I guess we'll wrap it up, man. Y'all know what it is. Like this, we're gonna let you get some other opinions from some other people, right? We'll grab some clips and see what we got. But thank y'all for joining us on another episode of High Proof Ashes. Smoking a great cigar, drinking something new.
Listen, don't be afraid to try to make your own.
Yeah, go
blend.
for it.
Like, go for it. That's exactly what we did. We had no clue what it was going to taste like. None whatsoever. He brought it up. He's like, dude, we should make our own infinity bottle. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
It was that simple.
Pour it all in, and
it took 20 minutes.
Like you just never know. Yeah.
It took 20 minutes. Like,
and
really.
Some people, what they do is when they buy a brand new bottle, they take the neck pour
and put it in.
And they put it in a bottle.
Yeah.
So that's a cool and interesting way to do it. Like,
so I think it is, but I prefer the way we did it because I think everything that we did, nothing was new. So everything had been, opened and
it's true.
It had
everything
aged in the bottle a little
everything
bit
developed
and
in the bottle. Yeah.
So
which means it's not recreatable.
Right.
At all.
Period. Point blank. So which
makes it fun and unique,
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up, man.
All right. Well, y'all know what it is. Another episode of High Proof Ashes. I am Durant. I'm gonna get a nickname. The Lazy Eye, Bourbon Guy.
Yeah, man.
We'll see you on the next episode. My guy Jason.
Man, Jason, JV Smoke. And we'll see you on the next one.
Let's get it.
Y'all be good.